I'm going to take you along with us today. We're processing our broiler hens. We do between 150 and 160 chickens a year. This is meat that feeds our family. Last year we were about a month shy. So this year we're hoping that we can do enough that will feed our family for the year. Last year we did 3 batches of 50. This year we're gonna do 2 batches of 75. They always give you more than you need. So I think we got 80 and we're gonna be doing 80 chickens today. I'm not gonna show you everything for obvious reasons, but I just wanna give you a little picture of what we're doing. Our kids are involved in ways that are appropriate for them to help getting ice, packaging the chickens. You'll see some of the stuff that they do. Today is a big day. It's our chicken processing day. We do this twice a year, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of mess. First thing I wake up, I get Benjamin, get my coffee, I get the kids' breakfast going, and the first thing on my agenda is to get all the island counters clear, because when the process moves inside, that's when we're gonna need as much counter space as possible. You want some yogurt? No? If you're new here, my name is Sherry. I'm a homeschooling mom to 10 kids. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, Nelson. We've been married for 24 years. I created this channel to encourage other homeschool moms in the great work that you're doing in your homes. I also blog over at ourlifehomeschooling.com, where you can find a ton of resources, book lists, life skills posts, all kinds of encouragement for you there. Now, on the day we process chickens, my husband takes off of work. This is a big deal. We have help. It takes most of the day to do it. And at this time in the morning, my husband is already up. He's already out there and started. Yes. One pound of provolone. And then a half pound of Swiss. Yeah, James and I love Swiss. Colin, come here, help me get these cucumbers.
Okay, what cucumbers? How many?
Okay, take them to the other table. Since we have people here helping us, there's going to be quite a few people here for lunch, so I had my 16-year-old go out and get some lunch meat, something that's easy to throw together for lunch. This is our chicken tractor. This is something that we move every day, so if you look around here, you can see the grass around that we move every day to put them on fresh grass. Now these chickens are 8 weeks old, so they're ready to go. They're the perfect size. One thing that our kids help with is catching the chickens and putting them in crates. Then we put them in the wagon in the back of our mower and drive them up to where we'll be processing them. We raise Cornish cross broiler hens, and these take 8 weeks. So for the first 2 weeks, they're in the brooder. I'll leave a link to show you the video where we got our chicks. They come in the post office and you pick them up. Then after 2 weeks, we put them on fresh grass and they get moved every day for 6 weeks. This is the plucker that we use. We would not be able to do this process if we didn't have a plucker. This is a huge time saver. It is just a great tool to have if you're going to do this.
I spray water in here like this, and then I put the chicken in, and the bottom spins, and it has these rubber fingers or grommets that pull the feathers off as it spins them around in the tub. So it's electrified. Turn the switch on, the bottom spins, and the birds.
So can you just turn the switch on real quick? My husband does a great job of explaining to the kids the process. Some of our older kids do see it. We try to shield our younger kids from it for obvious reasons. On the right there, you can see those are the killing cones for the chickens. And then after that, they get taken to the table where they're gutted, and we put them into a trash can full of ice. We had never raised any meat birds for our own until 4 years ago when we moved to this house. So this is something that's fairly new to us. We had someone come and butcher the chickens for us one year, but then one year we weren't able to get anyone to come, and so my husband did it, and we've been doing it ourselves ever since. Raising your own meat birds is actually, it doesn't take a lot of time or space. They're only here for 8 weeks, and they just get moved around in a chicken tractor every day. Now my husband and the family and friends that were helping us finished outside at around 1 o'clock, and at this point everything moves inside for the cuts. In the past, my husband's aunt has come and helped us every year. She came again this year. She had to leave a little early, but thankfully we had some friends that jumped in, and wow, it was a ton of work this year. We couldn't have done it without them. The kids do a lot. There's surprisingly a lot that they can do to help. So they were running and getting bags of ice. They help us go and catch all the chickens. And then when we bring it inside, they help with the packaging and labeling. And throughout the day, there's just random odd jobs that there's always something that someone can help with. This really is a messy day. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a messy day, but considering we do it twice a year and these chickens feed our family of 12 for the whole year, it's definitely worth it. And because we have family and friends that come help us, it really is a fun day too. The kids' cousins were here that day, and some friends, and they all went out swimming in the pool. There were breaks where they could be out swimming, and then they were just out on the trampoline and playing. So it's a lot of work, but when there's a group of you doing it together and you all know that you're working for the common good of the family to provide, it's also a lot of fun. The last thing that we do is take the meat out and put them in our freezers. And this is also something that the kids help us with. This day was really full. It was a lot of work. There's no way we could have done it without the help of our friends and family. But it felt so good at the end of the day to have all this food in our freezer for the winter. The next project that we started just 2 days later is tackling these cucumbers on the counter. It took us about a day to recover from the chicken processing, the cleanup. We try to get a lot of it done that night, but all the equipment needs to be put away, and that usually happens the next day. But our cucumber harvest has been really good this year. We've been going out every day and picking cucumbers. The kids, this is also, again, something that they do. They go out with us. They love finding what's out there. And I'll tell you, if you ever want to try, if you've never tried cucumbers, this is a great one to do with kids, because you'll go out one day and the little cucumber will just be like 1 inch. And then you'll go out the very next day and it's like 3 inches. They grow so quickly and the kids love watching it. We make bread and butter pickles with our cucumbers. This is a recipe I got from my mother-in-law, and you can find it on the blog. I'll leave the link below. It's very simple. We put a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of dill seed in the bottom of each jar, and the kids can do this part. So William is 6 and he put these spices in the bottom of every jar. It was really fun for him. Canning pickles is one job that kids can do a lot of the parts of the process. Pretty much everything except the canning at the very end. After we put the spices in the bottom of the jar, we wash the cucumbers and cut them up. And then just put them in the jar, fill it up to the top. And I kind of think of it in terms of how much will fill a canner. So first we just tried to fill 7 jars. We ended up getting 14 quarts from this, so 2 canners full. After we fill up the jars, I bake a brine out of vinegar, water, and sugar. I'll show you that a little bit later. But you fill the jars up with the hot brine and then you process them. When I'm canning, I notice that kids just come and go. So I'll have someone stop by and eat some cucumbers, as you can see, and it just tends to attract kids. While I was working on the cucumbers inside, my husband was outside with some other kids harvesting our potatoes.
There's 2 of them. Oh, wait, there's 3. There's 3.
Back inside, we're still working on cutting the cucumbers. This took a little bit of time, but really it went by quickly because the kids pretty much do enjoy doing this. One job that someone is always doing is bringing up more jars, and we always have to wash them, even though they were washed before they went down to the basement. I still wash them with hot water. I don't completely sterilize them in boiling water. I don't even use soapy water. I just use nice hot water to make sure the jars are clean. Here I'm making the brine that we'll put into a pan and heat on the stove. We just need to heat it until the sugar is dissolved. I use 2 parts water, 2 parts vinegar, and 3 parts of sugar, although sometimes I'll do just a little bit less sugar. Maybe I'll just do equal parts of all 3. And then I'll do 2 tablespoons of salt. I mix it on the stovetop until it's really hot and the sugar and salt are dissolved. When the brine is ready, we'll pour it into the jars and fill them to the top and leave a 1/2 inch of headspace. Then we put a little bit more garlic powder and dill seed on top, and this is a job that an older child can do. So here, James, he's 9, he is putting the spices on top and he is pouring the brine into the jars. On this day, our little kids did a pretty good job of entertaining themselves. Ben put a shoe in the potatoes, and William is playing this Mancala game that some of our friends left for us. So it seemed like they all did a pretty good job of just finding things to do. That's not always the case, but like I've mentioned in some of my other videos, when I can, I do try to do it at a time or on a day when my husband is home. It just makes it a lot simpler. Doesn't always work out that way, but it really is helpful to do it when you have help if you have younger kids. Teaching our kids how to grow their own food, how to be more self-sufficient, modeling this kind of lifestyle for them is something that's really important to me and my husband. It's something that has become more important. When we first started homeschooling, this was not my priority. I was definitely more academic, and that also has its place. We do prioritize those kinds of things, but especially in the summer when we're not doing as much book work, we take off during the summer. On paper, we homeschool August through May, just like the traditional school year. but in the summer we focus on some of these life skills. I hope this video inspired you to think about some of the skills that you want to pass down to your own kids. I also invite you to watch the video we did last week where we were canning green beans. Thanks for watching. I do one video a week on homeschooling encouragement for everyday moms.